Let's read that first story. Probably one of the most shocking stories I've seen in a long time. I couldn't believe it when I saw this video. Trudeau announces national plan to freeze importing, buying, or selling handguns. Now, what really freaked me out about this is the way that he actually reads it. Let me see if I'm going to play this video for you guys. Listen to this.
We're introducing legislation to implement
Can we turn that up?
national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
I think that's enough. I don't want to listen anymore to that man.
Yeah, really.
But the whispery, feathery way he's talking, we're capping handgun market. He sounds like a Bond villain. This is really creepy stuff. Seeing all these people post online about banning guns outright, then they come out and they say, nobody's trying to ban your guns. They're literally trying to ban your guns. And I think the important context here is that I think we've seen from history what happens every single time guns get banned.
Well, I don't understand, yes, what one has to do with the other. I'm certainly interested in a rational discussion about what needs to be done after these tragedies. I think a lot of people are. But to jump ahead to something like, what does this have to do with Canada and banning guns? What does the tragedy in Texas have to do with that?
Well, I don't think it does. I think we're just seeing the scale at which this ideology wants to go. So in the United States, they know they can't come out and say ban all the guns because nobody wants that. In the United States, they know they can't say that. In Canada, they can just do it. I mean,
Do they want it in Canada? Is
I
it
doubt it.
different there?
I can't speak for Canadians.
He got a lot of applause
Well,
in the room.
he introduced
Yeah.
the bill. So it was a bill. So we'll see
Right.
what happens with the lawmakers. But yeah, I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, but it's still nothing new under the sun. I mean, we've seen this from other regimes, and it is fascism when the government wants to take control of the firearms and take them away from the people. And what I find hypocritical is people who were cheering, the Ukrainians all arming themselves and just saying this is a great thing, good for them for arming themselves. The hypocrisy.
They're posting videos of child soldiers in Ukraine praising them. And I'm just like, man, this got dark real quick.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't Ukraine the exact reason why some people here say we should not be disarmed? The very thing that's happening to the Ukrainians, it could be argued, which is they taught right before the invasion of Russia, they were actually training the local citizens in how to use their weapons in combat that they already had.
Mm-hmm.
It almost makes the case for the opposite of what they're arguing now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and not just Ukraine, the rioting that happened for months on end in this country that was praised by the left wing. They sit there and tell us that rioting is an acceptable response when politics doesn't go their way, basically. And then they turn around and tell you a couple weeks to months later, oh, you have no reason to own a firearm.
There was during the George Floyd riots, there was a guy in New York who called 911 because people were breaking into his apartment building and fighting. And he said, I need help. The dispatcher said, sir,
Let me send you a therapist.
They said, the city is under attack. What would you have us do?
Yeah.
Good luck. I mean, these people vote for this stuff. Or they ignore it and they let it happen. And then when danger comes a knocking, you ain't got no one to count on. So we saw, here's the fascinating thing about all of the gun control stuff, is that there are people currently arguing for gun control when we just saw the police in the Uvalde incident not go in, but use their authority to stop the parents from going in who were armed. So
Disgusting.
Which is
Yeah.
what gun control is, by the way, allowing the criminals to have guns, but preventing people
You're
who want
right.
to protect
That was
themselves
gun-
and their
gun
families
control.
from having
Yeah.
guns.
Yep.